In this tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to create a fancy letter O in Procreate. Let's get started. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to choose a white monoline brush. This is a brush that comes with Procreate, and then you're going to create a circle. So make sure the circle is perfect by clicking circle at the top, and then you're going to create another circle within that circle. So now you've created a letter O. Once that's created, you're going to duplicate that layer, and then you're going to fill in that bottom letter O. And then you're going to duplicate that layer, and then you're going to pull it down diagonally to create a 3D effect. Then fill your layer. I'm using pink, and then I'm going to connect that bottom shadow layer to the top letter O. Once it's connected, you can go ahead and create a new layer above that pink layer and create a clipping mask. You're going to want to choose a secondary color. I chose an orange color, and then I'm only filling in a bottom portion of my shadow layer. And then I'm going to select that layer, the one that I just filled in, and I'm going to create a new layer above that, and that's going to create a clipping mask automatically. And then you're going to select a texture brush. I like to choose the Bonobo chalk and a darker color orange, and then I'll add some texture to that orange portion of my shadow. I want to add some shadow to that pink portion, so I'm going to select the pink O, and then I'm going to create a new layer above that, and it automatically creates a clipping mask once again. And then again, I'm going to choose a darker pink, and I'm going to fill that in with some texture once again. Once that's done, I want to add a bit of shine to this portion as well, so I'm going to choose the color white, and then I'm going to go to my airbrushing brushes in Procreate and select the soft brush. Once I've selected the soft brush, I'm going to add some shine to this pink portion of my letter. The next step is you're going to want to group your shadow layers just to stay organized, and then I'm going to choose the very top layer, which is that outlined letter O, and I'm going to create a clipping mask right above that, and I'm going to choose a darker color gray, and again using the soft brush, I'm adding some shade and some shadows on that layer. So it kind of gives the impression that that layer is metallic or shiny. So again, this is a really simple trick that you can use for your lettering to really make it stand out. So once I've liked the way it looks, I'm going to go ahead and group those layers to stay organized. I'm going to create a new layer above that filled in O, and again creating a new clipping mask. And I'm going to choose the monoline brush using a gray color, and I'm going to create a circle within that layer. And once I've created a nice circle and I've placed it where I want it to go, I'm going to fill in that circle. So it should look something like this. And then I'm going to use the eraser brush to erase portions of this shape. And you'll see that I'm kind of making a crescent on both sides of this shape. And once I've created that on both sides, I'm going to erase one side of this entire shape. So it should look something like this. Now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to create a new layer above that one, and it's again a clipping mask, and this time I'm using a darker gray, and I'm going to create a circle around that initial circle that I had created, and I want it to be a perfect circle again, and then I'm going to create another outer circle within that layer as well. So once I've done that, I'm going to fill in that layer, so it should look something like this. Now again, you're going to grab the eraser tool, and you're going to erase portions of this layer just to give it this crescent type of shape for each side. So you'll see what I'm doing here is I'm erasing and I'm making each side rounded, and then I'm going to erase the top portion. Once I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and select that metallic layer again, which is the very top, and I'm going to add a darker gray just because it kind of blended too much with my other layers. So I'm adding a darker gray in there so it really looks metallic. And then once that's all done, I'm going to add a final top layer and add some spark, which you can grab this Spark 2 brush pack off of my website. And I'll add a link in the description below so you can go ahead and grab it if you're interested. And then again, I'm just adding these little sparks to really make it come together nicely. And once I'm done with that, I've created this really fancy, beautiful letter O.